word in Chi-Town. The press wants blood from our QB, but a Hall of Famer just gave the ultimatum. Is Chicago crucifying the wrong guy? Meanwhile, someone heard the defense's groans. The heavyweight who will close the cage on Stafford 2.0 is ready. But wait, Detroit just sealed their fate. A crazy coach swore to bury us, while our OC, their traitor, has the secret blueprint. This isn't football. It's programmed violence. Want to see how a rookie humiliates haters? A hungry defense collecting debts? Or how a paper tiger burns on the Chi-Town grill? Let's start with the elephant in the room, people. Our future, our first-round quarterback is under the microscope. After week 1, voices rose. Criticism was brutal, but now a league heavyweight steps up to defend him. Are we missing the big picture? This is crucial for the soul of the Bears, for the heart of Chicago. Look, I'll tell you this. The 27-24 loss to the Vikings on Monday night at Soldier Field was a blow, right? And sure, our young quarterback Caleb Williams took much of the blame. The offense, after that first score, seemed to be skating on ice. We didn't score another offensive touchdown until the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. 2 minutes! What do you say to that? There were opportunities, yes, after that interception by Nashon Wright gave us a 17-6 lead. But what happened? A missed field goal, missed throws by Caleb, and the press, both local and national, wasn't slow to come down on him. And I ask you, was all that criticism justified? Is it fair for a second-year quarterback with a new system and new expectations to be judged so harshly after one game? I think not. The pressure in Chicago is unique, is different. It's not like playing in Green Bay where they have a history of legendary QBs and patience is a luxury. Here, in the Windy City, we want results now. Since '85, people in Chicago have been waiting for another championship, and every quarterback who comes in carries that hope and pent-up frustration. It's a heavy burden, heavier than a winter on Lake Michigan. Now here's where things get interesting. Kurt Warner, yes, the very Kurt Warner, NFL Hall of Fame quarterback, stepped in to defend Caleb Williams on the Rich Eisen show. And what Warner said, I think it makes a lot of sense, and it's something many of us in the midst of frustration perhaps weren't considering. Warner argued that the level of difficulty for Caleb in that game was much higher than J.J. McCarthy, the Vikings quarterback. He said, and I quote, "The level of difficulty for J.J. McCarthy in this game was much, much lower than the level of difficulty with Caleb's first outing in Chicago on Monday Night Football." And why, Mike? Why? I say this because of how the game unfolded, the plays called, the throws they had to make. For McCarthy, it was easier. He didn't have to do anything until the fourth quarter and still had a shot. Think about it. McCarthy played a management game, a game where his defensive and ground team were carrying him. Caleb, on the other hand, was trying to be the hero from the start, trying to make explosive plays, trying to carry the weight of an offense, still finding his footing. It's an abysmal difference, a contrast as stark as Chicago's skyline at dawn and dusk. But for Caleb, Warner described it as hard work all night. And I, Mike Bear Truth Morales, agree with Warner on this point. It's not that Caleb doesn't have things to improve on. Of course he does. Warner himself said, "I still have questions about Caleb. There were things in the game or things I saw that continue to lend to my opinion that he has a long way to go in terms of calming down, slowing down the game, playing at the pace he needs to play, seeing things and slowing the mental processes." And that's true. But who doesn't have a long way to go in their second year, especially a quarterback in the NFL? No one. Even greats like Mahomes or Manning had their rookie or second year moments where things didn't go as expected. The NFL is a league of constant learning, and Caleb is in the eye of the storm, under the lights of Monday Night Football, with the pressure of being the first overall pick. That's no small feat, people. It's like trying to learn to drive an 18-wheeler in the loop during rush hour. What Warner highlighted is that Caleb did a good job going through his progressions against Brian Flores' defensive scheme. He was finding his third or fourth receiver. Isn't that what we want to see from a young QB under pressure? Of course it is! Many young quarterbacks get stuck on their first or second option, panic on force passes. Caleb, despite the pressure, was reading the field, looking for open options, even the hard ones. That's a sign of maturity, a sign of a player processing information at an incredible speed. The problem, I think, is that he needs to feel more comfortable in the new coach Ben Johnson's scheme. And that, my dear Bears fans, only comes with time, with repetitions, with sweat on the practice field and in games. Rome wasn't built in a day, and an elite quarterback isn't made in a week. We need patience, but we also need to see progress. We need chemistry with DJ Moore and the rest of the receivers to solidify. We need the offensive line to give him more time. It's an ecosystem, people. The Bears offense has to get better, no doubt, especially against the Detroit defense that, to be honest, was pummeled by Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers in week 1. So, is the excuse he's a rookie quarterback enough? No, it's not. But excessive criticism without considering the context isn't fair either. I tell you this, Caleb is our future, and we have to give him the support and time to develop. We can't let the pressure crush him before he can unleash his full potential. Or do we want him to burn out before he really starts shining? Do we want to repeat past mistakes where impatience cost us talents that later shone on other teams? I think not. We have to be smarter, more strategic as a fandom. The city of Chicago deserves a quarterback who triumphs, and Caleb has all the tools to be that guy, but he won't do it alone. He needs his receivers, he needs his offensive line, and he needs the coaching staff to put him in the best position for success. It's a team effort, people. We can't expect it to be the 85 Bears offense overnight. Building a champion takes time, and Caleb is a crucial piece of that puzzle. My argument's clear. Kurt Warner's defense of Caleb Williams isn't an excuse. It's a call for patience and understanding of the process. Our quarterback has the talent, but needs the scheme to adapt to him and his teammates to help him. We can't expect him to be a perfect robot from day one. The pressure of being the Chicago Bears quarterback is immense. It's like carrying the weight of the entire city on your shoulders. It's heavier than a Lou Malnati's deep dish. And I ask you, true fans, are you with Kurt Warner that Caleb needs more support and less criticism? Or do you think he should already be performing at the highest level and that it's entirely his fault? How long are we willing to wait to see the elite version of Caleb Williams? I want to read your opinions. I want to hear your arguments. And speaking of what we need, our defense, the one that deflated like a punctured balloon in the last quarter, is about to get a shot of pure adrenaline. Our star cornerback, the guy who shuts down one side of the field, is back. But the question is, will it be enough to stop an explosive offense that our own coordinator knows inside out? This is what could change the direction of our Sunday, people. Look, the Bears defense, I'll tell you this, had a first half against the Vikings. That was a dream. 6-3 and outs. An interception. It looked like we had control. But in the fourth quarter, what happened? It crumbled. The players looked frustrated, disorganized. We needed someone to step up and make a play, right? Well, the good news, the news that gives us hope, is that man, our cornerback Jaylon Johnson, looks ready to return this Sunday at Ford Field against the Detroit Lions. And that, my friends, is music to my ears. It's like hearing your favorite blues song in a Chicago club. It fills you with energy. Johnson has been dealing with groin and calf injuries that kept him out of the entire training camp and the first game. But this week, he's been practicing full throttle. He himself said, much better. I feel pretty good having that extra week of reps, extra week of conditioning, going over things. Just catching up with the playbook, being able to do the walkthroughs, things like that. It's really beneficial for me. And last week, when he was asked if he could play, he said no. This week, he said yes. That, my friends, is a sign that he's ready for battle. He's a guy who lives for competition, who hates being on the sidelines. His presence on the field is not only physical, it's mental. It's a confidence booster for the entire secondary. When you have your best cornerback back, the rest of the defensive unit plays with more freedom, with more aggression. They know they have a shutdown corner who can nullify the best receiver on the opposing team. That's invaluable. And I ask you, how important is this? It's crucial. Jaylon Johnson isn't just a cornerback. He's our best defender, a two-time Pro Bowler who brings a palpable urgency after watching the defeat from the bench. He feels it, we feel it. Yeah, sure, I'm sure everyone feels that same urgency, he said. You never want to go 2-2. You want to try to win as many games as possible. And I'll tell you this, a 0-2 start in the NFL is almost a death sentence for playoff aspirations. It's a hole that's almost impossible to get out of. It's like trying to get out of a jam on the Kennedy Expressway at rush hour. Almost impossible. We need this win, and we need our best players on the field. Jaylon is the type of player who, with an interception or a pass deflection at a key moment, can change the course of a game. It's the kind of play we lacked against the Vikings. Defense coordinator Dennis Allen talked about the fourth quarter collapse, and I think his message is right. When the momentum starts to swing in the opposite direction, instead of trying to do more, narrow your focus and just concentrate on the basic fundamentals of playing football. Exactly. Do your job, trust your teammates. And I'll tell you this, with Jaylon Johnson back, we have a player who can do his job at an elite level and who can inspire that confidence in others. He's the type of quiet leader the defense needs when things get tough. His ability to shut down one side of the field allows Allen to be more creative with his blitzes and coverages on the other side. He can take more risks knowing Jaylon has his man covered. That's a luxury few teams have, and it's a strategic advantage the Bears must exploit to the fullest. But here comes the challenge. The Lions have an explosive offense. And although the Green Bay Packers nullified them last week, our own offensive coordinator Ben Johnson was the mastermind behind that Detroit offense last year. He knows how it ticks. Dennis Allen knows they need more pressure on Jared Goff. When he's able to throw the ball on time and with rhythm, I think he's exceptional as a pocket passer. Allen said, so we have to be able to disrupt the rhythm either through pressure or through coverage. And I'll tell you this, Jaylon Johnson is key to that coverage. His ability to stick with the Lions' elite receivers like Amon-Ra St. Brown is invaluable. Without Jaylon, those receivers would have a field day, running routes unopposed, racking up yards after the catch. With him, Goff's life becomes much more complicated. He has to think twice before throwing to that side of the field, giving our defensive line those extra fractions of a second to get to him. The Packers did an exceptional job tackling in space Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jameson Williams. And Allen knows Gibbs is explosive, so we have to be able to try to eliminate explosive plays with him. Stop the interior running game. And for all that, to tackle in space, to lock down receivers, for the pressure to hit home, we need Jaylon Johnson. His return isn't just the return of a player, it's the return of hope for our defense. It's like when Chicago's weather finally gives you a sunny day after weeks of cold and wind. You feel renewed, optimistic. The Bears defense has to play as a team, yes, but a talent like Jaylon elevates everyone's level. His presence allows other players in the secondary to play with more freedom, knowing one of the best has their back. It's a positive domino effect that we can't underestimate. The Bears' ability to win this crucial game will heavily depend on how the defense performs. And Jaylon Johnson is the centerpiece of that defensive puzzle. If he plays at his level, I'll tell you this, we have a real shot to silence the Lions in their own house. It's time for the Bears' defense to show what they're made of, to return to being that intimidating force the city of Chicago knows and loves. My argument is that Jaylon Johnson's return is the most important piece our defense could ask for at this moment. He's a playmaker who can change the game's momentum, a true game changer. But the question is, will his presence be enough for the Bears' defense to return to basics and stop a Lions offense desperate to bounce back at home? Can our defense, with Jaylon, execute Dennis Allen's plan and avoid the disaster of 0-2? Or will we see again the fourth quarter collapse that left us with a bitter taste in our mouths? I want to know what you think. Is Jaylon Johnson the savior our defense desperately needs for this Sunday? Finally, and to throw more fuel on the fire of this divisional rivalry, we have the Lions coach, the guy who seems straight out of a Rocky movie, guaranteeing a victory over our Bears. And all this while our own offensive coordinator, who used to be his right hand, returns to his old home. Is this a declaration of war or pure desperation? This is personal, people. Look, I'll tell you this, Dan Campbell, the head coach of the Detroit Lions, doesn't beat around the bush. On Tuesday, with that familiar face of his, guaranteed a win over the Chicago Bears. We're going to win this game, said the passionate Lions coach and former boss of Ben Johnson. We have to do it. We have to do it. Did you hear that, Bears fans? It's a slap in the face. It's a disrespect to our franchise, our city, everything the Bears shield represents. Who does Dan Campbell think he is to come guarantee us a defeat? It's an arrogance we can't allow. It's the kind of thing that makes your blood boil. That makes you want to go to Soldier Field and shout until you're hoarse, or go to Detroit and make them eat their words. Both teams are 0-1. The Bears, after letting go of an 11-point lead in the fourth quarter against the Vikings at Soldier Field. The Lions with a disappointing loss. And I ask you, is it too soon for a coach to guarantee a win? Isn't it a bit desperate? I think so. It's a risky play, one that can motivate his team, but it can also motivate the opposing team in a way he can't even imagine. But I also tell you this, the implications of 0-2 are gigantic. Since 1990, NFL teams that start 1-1 make the playoffs 42% of the time. Teams that start 0-2 only 12%. 12%! That's almost nothing, people. It's a cliff. Campbell knows it, and that's why he's playing this card. He's putting all the pressure on his players, but he's also giving us, the Bears, an extra reason to go out and fight tooth and nail. It's like waving a red flag in front of a bull. NFL history has taught us that these guarantees can be a double-edged sword. They can galvanize a team, or they can put a giant target on its back, and the narrative of this game is explosive. Our offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, returns to Ford Field, the stadium he called home as offensive coordinator of the Lions before coming to Chicago. It's a reunion full of emotions. Campbell said, "Ben is my friend. He's always going to be my friend." But none of that's going to change. We're going to go in, getting ready to play against Chicago. Yeah, right, friend? When there's a win guarantee on the line, friendship stays in the locker room. Ben Johnson knows those players, knows their weaknesses, knows the system, and they know him. It's a battle of minds, a battle of strategies, and a battle of pride. Who holds the edge in this battle of brains? I'll tell you this, Ben Johnson has intimate knowledge of the Lions' defense, of their tendencies, of their calls, of their hidden flaws. That's an advantage we can't underestimate. But, on the other hand, they also know his offensive tendencies, his play preferences. It's high-level chess with the season's fate in the balance and divisional pride on the line. It's the kind of drama only the NFL can offer. I think Campbell's statement is a mix of motivation for his team and, yes, a bit of desperation. He knows what 0-2 means, and he knows that playing at home against a divisional rival with his former coordinator on the other side is an opportunity to reaffirm himself. But I also tell you this, it's a lack of respect. Guaranteeing a win against the Chicago Bears. In our backyard, figuratively speaking, because it's a divisional game. It's like someone coming to your house on the south side or the north side and telling you they're going to beat you at your own domino game. You don't do that. It's an affront we can't ignore. This is the NFL. Every game is a war, and words weigh heavy. Campbell just added extra weight to this already crucial matchup. NFL history is filled with coaches who've made these guarantees, and many times it's backfired on them. Will this be Dan Campbell's case? I hope so, for our Bears' sake and for Chicago's pride. How are our Bears going to respond? How will Ben Johnson respond? He himself said this week, no one's going to feel sorry for us. This is going to be a quick turnaround for Sunday in Detroit, our first road game. We have to quickly turn the page. And I tell you this, the best way to turn the page is to go to Detroit and shut mouths. The Bears-Lions rivalry is legendary, and this declaration by Campbell only adds more spice. It's like a good Italian beef needs that extra kick. Our players have to hit the field with that declaration etched in their minds. They have to play with a chip on their shoulder, with the fury of a Chicago Bear that's been provoked. If they don't use this as motivation, then I ask you, what will motivate them? What more do they need to understand the importance of this game? It's more than a game. It's a matter of pride, of respect, of the Chicago Bears identity. We have to go to Detroit and show them who we are. We have to remind them that the Bears spirit never dies, that we are a city of fighters, of hard-working people who don't give up. My argument is that Dan Campbell's victory guarantee is a direct provocation that the Bears must take as a personal affront. It's not just another game. It's an opportunity to demonstrate character, to show that we're not a team to be disrespected. The Bears' history is full of moments when we rose above adversity, like the '85 team that crushed anyone in its path. This is the moment to write a new chapter. And I ask you, Bears fans, do you think Campbell's guarantee will motivate our players to give 110% and make him pay for his audacity? Or do you think it's a trap that could distract our team and add unnecessary pressure? Are you ready to see our Bears respond with a powerful blow in Detroit? I want to know your prediction, your passion, your faith in our Bears. This Sunday is not just a game, it's a statement. What an emotional roller coaster, Bears fans. We've broken down the hottest news keeping Chicago on edge. First, Kurt Warner's defense of Caleb Williams makes us think, are we being fair to our young quarterback? Do you believe Caleb needs more time and support to master Ben Johnson's scheme and reach his full potential? Then, Jaylon Johnson's return to defense is a beacon of hope. Will his presence be the spark our defense needs to stop the Lions and avoid the dreaded 0-2? or will Detroit's offense be too much for us? And to top it off, Dan Campbell's bold victory guarantee. Do you think this statement will ignite a fire in our Bears and make them play with an intensity we haven't seen? Or is it a risky play that could backfire and motivate us even more? This is our community, our Bears family. It's where we discuss, celebrate, and suffer together. If you're a true Chicago Bears fan, if you live and breathe the navy blue and orange, then don't stay out. Like this video, leave your comments with your opinions, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a single analysis, a single news piece, or a single shout of passion for our Bears. Join the family, and we'll see you in the next video. Bear down!